Testing 4, 5, 6. Testing 11, 12, 13, 14. We're back on the topic of the YouTuber ethics crisis. The drama intensifies. Whoa, we're going to have to turn the volume down just a little bit. The drama intensifies. I have to say, I put my video out before the Gerald Undone video, just in case anyone might think that I was copying the trend. No. I called it out first. In fact, I've been calling this out for a long time in my GH6 videos of various kinds. There's something very interesting going on in the watch community in the comments section. I'm getting tongue-tied. There's so much to say, folks. So much to talk about in this drama gift that keeps giving. The Panasonic have created something even better than a new camera. They've created a whole new discussion. So what I'm noticing is a split. You have some of the people defending the so-called content creators, right? I think bullshit, they're not creators. Defending the infomercial hosts, the talking heads on YouTube, we all know and hate. Or love in their case. So they're defending them. They're actually simping for them and defending those people and the camera. It's kind of weird. They've got Stockholm syndrome. You know, they're defending the people who are actually manipulating them. And you see this all through life. You see it in politics. You see it in all kinds of situations. Then you have the other half, and I think it might be a pretty even split, who are saying, damn, it's about time we talked about this. Yeah, I've been thinking this for ages. You read my mind. These people are taking us for a ride. This is unethical. This is manipulation. This is just marketing under the guise of, content creation. And, that's the camp I'm in, of course. And I think it's interesting now to see some of the people who actually have been just looking at it from a bit of a distance, because I don't watch all these channels religiously, but it seems like some of the people who have been involved in this corruption are now trying to be the ones who are calling it out. And it's like, well, hold on, you were a part of this problem. But they've realized they need to be like early in the mix in calling it out in order to rescue their own reputation. And I saw another YouTuber he's tried not to talk about this, and now they're saying, you guys want me to make a video on this topic? And I think they should. It's becoming a talking point. It's on YouTube you get talking points, and suddenly everyone has to talk about it, and everyone has to take a certain popular position. That's what unfortunately, these prostitutes, which is what they are, they're multinational big brand prostitutes who'll do anything for money, including take advantage of their audience. Well, if there's money to be made talking about the problem that they've created, they'll do that. I mean, it's kind of appropriate, really. It's funny. It's like poetic injustice. You think of this from almost a game theory point of view, and if all these YouTubers stay together in a tight-knit group and none of them breaks ranks and none of them spills the beans, no one pulls the curtain aside, no one blows the whistle, no one rats out the others, and they all keep this illusion that they're just interested in cameras and they love the new Panasonic or the new Sony or whatever it is. I'm just using Panasonic because that's the brand that was behind the S9, which is where this whole thing has blown up. If they all stay as a tight-knit group, they all win. No one loses credibility. But members in that group know that there's a chance that someone breaks out, spills the beans, and ruins it for the group. And that person ends up looking like a hero for being the whistleblower, and they all look like the villains. And so finally we've had people in the mainstream camera reviewing space start to break out because they don't want to look like the sellouts. And yeah, it's an interesting development. I think the consumer psychology is interesting. I think the sort of self-interest psychology of these YouTubers is fascinating as well. And so the shit is hitting the fan. And by the way, the Gerald Undone, I might have to go back and watch it. I don't want to misquote him or anyone else. But I think in that video he said something like he didn't get an invitation from Panasonic. And he was talking to like friends on the phone or via text saying, what the fuck? And it was like he felt entitled. It's like he felt they had to give him an invitation, which tells you something about his incredibly arrogant mindset. And this is the guy who blew the whistle. And he said in that video, if I remember correctly, when he didn't get the invitation, he wanted to make a video slamming Panasonic, which is crazy, right? If you're the type of person who wants to make a video slamming a brand because you didn't get an invite, then you're going to make a good video if you do get an invite. That's the other side of the coin. And this is the guy that's blowing the whistle. And from what I can gather, because I don't watch his channel, or what I can gather, he's one of the people who, on a semi-regular basis gets these favours from companies. Apart from that, I think the points he made in the video are valid, but I already made the same fucking points. So anyway, it's the case has been taken up now by some big names for different reasons, perhaps. But by all means, rage out in the comments on these videos because they need to hear that the viewership is pissed and that they know they've been manipulated, taken for granted. I like to think I'm not that easy a person to market something. Even I have bought something that turned out to be a fucking waste of money because of a YouTube video. I think I spent about $200 on the item and another $200 on batteries for it. And yeah, in fact, and there was another thing that I bought, these little hall clocks, which I've mentioned I bought those off a YouTuber's review, and they're fucking shit. It's a quick lock system that's meant to, secure your object, but with the hall clock, you think it's locked in and it's not. So it's not good if you're just quick and on the go and trying to quickly, slip your camera in or whatever, take a photo. It's not really suitable for cameras that are too small, and then take the camera off, move to the next spot, repeat, because at some point you'll think it's clicked in. You push it in pretty hard and it's not clicked in, and you can test it and it feels like it's locked in and it's not, and then just magically it sort of slips out literally like a minute later. And so that didn't cost me a huge amount of money, and they're potentially useful for other things, low value items, situations, especially in a studio where, not that I have a studio, but if you did have a studio, you just check it once and you leave it and it's fine, right? And the other thing was a monitor, which I just didn't need, and it's not that great. for my cinema rig, everyone thinks I need a cinema rig. So, yeah, YouTubers, I think they have a bit of, there's an apology that's due. Every one of those big YouTubers ought to be making an apology video. And another guy, I was looking at his comments, he actually, he's attacking people in his comments who are disagreeing. And I'm seeing people attacking those who even just criticized the S9. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird, man, to have that kind of loyalty to a camera that you don't even own, unless they work for Panasonic. But I doubt that very much. It's bizarre. This is what it shows you, the power of creating brand loyalty. That you will have people who will literally tear other commenters apart in YouTube comment sections just because they have that retarded loyalty to a brand. That's pretty powerful. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? There are people who will actually go out and buy the camera just to spite other people who criticized it. Isn't that something? That is crazy. Panasonic Lumix S9. I mean, this thing has opened a can of worms. And in a way, like, we needed... By the way, I like Panasonic. I shoot Panasonic. I have 2 Panasonic cameras. I don't have a Sony. The only other one I have is a little Olympus. With a fixed lens. And some vintage pieces. Where was I going? Yeah, but this Panasonic Lumix S9, like we needed a bad camera. We needed something that had multiple really fucking obvious flaws, so that when the YouTubers said, "Oh, this is great for these kinds of people," and they go over the positives and then they just gloss over the negatives in a pro forma manner. We needed this kind of camera to expose these hypocrites. They act like they're reviewers. No, they're not. They're just sold out. They're just prostitutes to Panasonic or whatever fucking camera brand is hosting them or paying them or giving them a free camera ahead of time to promote their YouTube channel. I don't believe that that kind of content is healthy for the camera YouTube community. But we need it. That's the great thing about this camera. Like, it's turned out to be the best camera release in a long time, because it doesn't have the mechanical shutter. It doesn't have a fast readout speed. It's not water sealed. That's something I didn't point out. It's not water sealed. It doesn't have the EVF. It doesn't have unlimited recording, and it doesn't have uncropped recording in 4K 60, which is these days the bread and butter video mode. It literally suits nobody. It's not cheap. You want a compact travel camera? There are tons of options on the second-hand market, and some of those you can still buy new. I still want to see a photo of it next to a GH5. I'm not convinced it doesn't look compact. It looks compact in the photos where no one's holding it, but when you see it in somebody's hand, it's like, that's a fucking big piece of kit, That's a fucking, it's a full frame with that big fucking Leica mount. That's a chunk fucking camera pretending to be small. It's a big camera pretending to be a small camera. Is that the only thing worse than a small camera pretending to be a big camera? We needed a bad, unambiguously bad release to expose these charlatans on the YouTubes. We've got it. Round of applause for Panasonic. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Where's this going to go? I'm like salivating at the prospect of the next Panasonic release. And I can see that already there's going to be a big reset in how people approach this. You might even have some of the usual prostitutes not agreeing to take on the camera because they might not want to look like the Luts that they are, the Lumix Luts that they are. Lumix Luts, right? You know what I mean by that? It's a lookup table, folks. That's what it stands for. Lumix lookup table. I think I'll leave it there. I could go on. I want to return to this topic as the drama evolves. But I'm just going to drop this one at 15 minutes.